Good morning, Anytime Maritimers, and welcome to another episode of Anytime Maritime. This morning, mukhang mag-isa po ako dahil ang ating kasamang si GM Alex sa Palawan ay nag-experience ng brownout sa Palawan at wala rin daw silang internet because of the brownout. So, I'm sorry about that, but it's all right. Life goes on, the show goes on. And today we are very, very excited to introduce to you our guests from, of course, the Philippines. They are called the Filipino Wanderers, the Lost Boys. And the title of our episode is The PH Wanderers, the Lost Boys Unveiling the Beautiful Islands of the Philippines. So, Mika, tawagin na natin ang ating mga Lost Boys. Kirk Del Rosario and Brian. Hello, good morning, Lost Boys. How are you?
Good morning, Ms. Pastrana. Good morning, everyone.
Morning. Welcome to Anytime Maritime. I would say mga Anytime Maritimers din kayo dahil talaga namang iniikot nyo ang Pilipinas using the sea lanes. Tama ba?
Yes, correct.
Lost Boys?
Correct.
So, Lost Boys, wag na nating patagalin. Of course, I'm sure our viewers are wondering how the Lost Boys came about, what prompted you to bond together and to travel and explore the country. But before that, please go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, I am Kirk Del Rosario of the Lost Boys PH.
Hi, good morning. I'm Brian Maling. I'm one half of the Lost Boys PH. But before we proceed po pala, thank you so much for having us today. It's a great pleasure na maging part na itong talk na to. Thank you Anytime Maritime and thank you Mrs. Pastrana.
Thank you.
Nice, welcome. Sorry, nasa bahay ako. Naririnig ko yung aking mga pets.
No problem.
Lost Boys, we met when you joined the Philippine Loop, no? Tell us about what you were doing before you became Lost Boys and how did you come about to become Lost Boys? Please.
Yes, at first, ano po kami, hoteliers. We are employees, so we work in a hotel. And then doon po kami nagkakilala ni Brian. So, pero before that, I've been traveling na before that. And then yung nagkakilala kami sa work ni Brian, and then we shared the same passion for traveling. So nag-jive kami, and then one day nag-set kami ng lakad. I think that was in Palawan yata. Yeah, Palawan. And then yun, parang nabuo yung samahan namin na parang we share the same passion, ganun. Parang we enjoy the outdoors, ganun. So, and then pero after that, after that trip, hindi pa namin nabuo yung Lost Boys. We travel pa several times. And then one day, may na-meet kaming traveler also na Wonder Twins. Sabi nila sa amin na, oh guys, you've been traveling na pala, ganyan, pero you don't parang share it, ganon. So, why not make a page para to share your travels? Kasi, to parang showcase din the beauty of our country, ganon. Kasi sila, yung na-meet namin na travelers are very well-traveled din. So, sabi namin, oh yeah, that's a good thing, no? So, ayun, we started the Lost Boys with Brian and Ron, pero si Ron is in other country.
Okay. Yeah. Actually,
Brian, yeah.
Para lang may konting background din, yung kwento ni Kirk, that was back in 2015 or 2016 if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. To say, medyo matagal na rin yung pinagsamahan and marami-rami na rin napuntahan. Pero, ayun, as Kirk mentioned, it was, that trip was originally, hindi pa to for the Lost Boys, hindi pa to for that brand. And that trip was originally planned as a regular way of distressing lang from work. Kasi as Kirk mentioned din kanina, ano lang kami, we're hoteliers. So, most of the time, naghahanap kami ng outlet namin to distress. So, ayun, uso yung piso fare nun sa mga airlines. So, kaya kami napunta sa Palawan. Ayun.
Nice, nice. So, okay. So, from full-time hoteliers in the hospitality industry, you became travelers. And then, you dropped na your full-time work to become the Lost Boys and travel. Is that right? Tama ba yung intindi namin? Talagang ito na yung ginagawa nyo full-time?
Recently lang po kami nag-quit sa job namin. It was like mid-pandemic. Kasi nag-usap kami, sabi namin parang let's let's explore the outside the comfort zone. So sabi namin let's start, actually honestly the plan is parang let's start a business. Ganun para labas tayo sa pagiging employee. Ganun. So we started a business, and at the same time parang we have the time to travel. Kasi, diba? I mean, you can manage your time na. So, that's it. We decided, I think that was 2021, bro, no? Or 2020 na nag-quit talaga tayo.
2021.
2021.
Actually,
so,
during that time po kasi, as everyone knows, medyo medyo bumagsak din yung hotel industry. Hindi siya stable that time. So, we talagang naging consideration namin na siguro hanap tayo ng business na pwede tayong kumita at the same time makapag-travel. So, yun yung isang naging dahilan din. Kaya again, medyo, we can say full-time. Full-time na ba tayo?
Sure, the main business is not traveling, not through Lost Boys. So, we have,
not travel.
business, and then on the side is the Lost Boys.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So, parang travel agents, ganyan ba? Or vloggers talaga? Vloggers, explorers?
The Lost Boys is more on lang. I would say ayoko pang hindi namin tinitignan yung sarili namin as influencers parang ganun kasi we travel just for the sake of parang yung sabi nga ni Bri, to distress and ganun, explore the country kasi alam naman natin sobrang ganda talaga ng Pilipinas, pero more on personal talaga. Pero at the same time we want to share it to the people na na maganda talaga yung na-explore namin, yung napupuntahan namin. Ayaw namin maging selfish we want to share it So, parang ganun lang. So, hindi talaga siya yung travel agency or ganun. It's just a tool to share our experience and travels.
Nice. So talagang explorer kayo. Parang kung mga bata may Dora the Explorer sa Pilipinas, may Kirk and Brian, the explorers, and sharing your adventure to a bigger audience. In here in Anytime Maritime, we're really actually targeting the young Filipino maritime students, maritime enthusiasts, maritime stakeholders, to get the conversation going up in maritime. And we know that we are an archipelagic nation, and it's impossible to see the whole Philippines without riding ships, right?
Correct.
So and as you said earlier, Kirk, ang ganda ng Pilipinas, ang daming dapat makita. So my next question is, so far, what usually attracts you to visit an area? Like, how do you think, okay, where are we going next? Or ano ba yan? Spontaneous lang ba yan? Parang, okay, tara, kahit saan. How are you planning your adventures?
Well, to be honest, pag nakikita namin sa mga post na maganda yung place, we do research din. Ganyan. So, we cannot deny na maraming sinishare ng mga famous spots. But again, our vision sa Lost Boys kasi is to explore the lesser known places. So let's say they share this famous spot. So i-search namin yan. And then magtatanong kami kung ano yung mga spots within the area or nearby area na hindi pa masyadong kilala. So, that's the time na we explore those places. Kasi again, famous spots, that's famous given. People will go there. But how about the other places na hindi pa masyado na-expose? Na na maganda din. So, yun yung mga nakakaano sa amin, nakakaakit sa amin na, oh yeah, let's do that. Let's visit that place, ganyan. Kasi there's so many places talaga. Based on our experience, we've been going around the country for several times. Sobrang dami pa.
You know, our
Okay.
last guest. Yeah, Brian, ikaw muna. Sige, please
Okay.
share.
Bali to share lang po, ma'am, actually, yung pagdating sa planning din, one of the main goals din talaga ng Lost Boys is yung to visit the 81 provinces. So, minsan, nagiging part ng planning din namin ni Kirk yun, especially before, no medyo konti pa, titingin muna kami sa map, ano pa ba yung di natin na-check na province. So, after that, from there, doon na kami, eto hindi pa natin napupuntahan to. So, we will visit that province and ayun, we will do the research na and yun na, doon na nabubuo yung mga trip namin. Pero yun, usually pag longer days, we plan, pero talaga minsan, parang yung pagiging outdoor guy namin ni Kirk or yung pagiging explorer as you mentioned kanina, lumalabas din. Kasi minsan spontaneous kami. Like, night before, alis tayo. Wala pa kaming destination. Nagiging na lang yun spur of the moment, spontaneous travels na lang din kami.
Wow, sounds exciting. And really very spontaneous. When I was listening to you, Kirk, parang naisip ko, oh, the road less traveled. You like
Yes.
to go to the road less traveled. Not just go with the flow, but really seek an adventure that's new, that's never been visited, never been explored. And because you are exploring that, you're opening new destinations and new sites for others to explore and to see. Wow, ang exciting naman ang buhay nyo. Parang for people who are parang stuck in a rut, parang wow, this is really the way to go. So you were saying it can be spontaneous or you can really plan ahead. And you said you wanted to see all the provinces. Yung last guest namin last week, si Mark Sinisa, vlogger din siya, parang sinabi niya, ganyan din, parang 82 ba sabi niya? 82 provinces ba sabi niya? 67 na raw siya. So, pinupursue niya talaga. So, kayo, anong bilang ng probinsya na nabisita niyo na? Binilang niyo ba? At may specific number ba tayo?
Ako nasa
Sige, go ahead.
70. Yung the last few months ago, plinat ko yung mga visit province, nasa 70 plus. Mga 10 or less na lang yung natitira.
Wow! Galing naman! Oh my God! I'm sure ang daming Pilipino ang gustong gawin yung ginagawa nyo. So, ang tanong, mahal ba? So, can you share with us, like, you're out of the 72 ba? Sinabi mo, 72 provinces.
81.
72 out of the 81 provinces.
Ayo.
Okay, can you tell us what are the best experiences? Like, okay, alam ng Pilipino, okay, masarap kumain sa atin, maraming iba-ibang isla, so that would mean beaches. But in your exploration, like, okay, what are the best experiences, top experiences that maybe is not yet explored, not familiar to Filipino travelers or even to foreigners? Ganyan. Sige.
Medyo mahirap yun kasi I think every area or every province has its own beauty. So different experience, different province, different experience. So lahat kanya-kanya. Pero I think ang tumatak talaga sa amin is one, Siargao. Kasi it's so beautiful. Noon the first time, that's way back 2015, 2016, pumunta kami doon. Sabi namin, titira kami dito. So, pag ganung level. And then another province na parang sobrang na-enjoy namin is Palawan. Kasi Palawan, malaki siya. Sobrang, kasi kami, we love the beach, ganun. So, kahit saan ka pumunta within the island or either you cross an island, sobrang gaganda ng mga beach nila. So, parang sabi namin, grabe, walang tapon. Parang anywhere you go, kahit saan ka huminto, it's picture perfect lahat. So, parang sabi namin, one day, explore natin lahat talaga tong buong Palawan. So, yun yung maganda. And also, I want to highlight also this area in Mindanao. Kasi, we have this, parang impression na when you say Mindanao, Parang nakakatakot. Pero I'm from Mindanao. I grew up in Bukidnon. Pero and we've been traveling around Mindanao also, ganyan. Pero eto nga ang catch eh. We've been traveling around the country, Visayas, Luzon, Mindanao. Pero late na namin in-explore yung Mindanao. Nag-focus kami sa Luzon and Visayas. So when we explored Mindanao, even me na I grew up there, nasabi ko na hindi pala tama, hindi pala totoo yung sinasabi nila na nakakatakot dito. So we explored Mindanao. The place is beautiful. I've been to Basilan, ganun. So, di ba, when you say the place, ganyan, para natatakot sila. Pero the place is nice. The place is safe with proper coordination and research also. Kasi, again, that's your part eh. You have to do your research for safety. Pero again, it's safe, it's nice, one of the best dive spot and one of the best beaches na napuntahan namin na low-key lang. So yeah, Mindanao is one of the best.
Nice! Brian, how about you?
So Kirk highlighted na yung beauty ng mga different places na napuntahan namin. Siguro isa rin sa sobrang nagustuhan namin dito sa pagta-travel is yung nakakapag-create kami ng bond with locals. There's this particular time na I think it was Siargao. Nandito yung time na sobrang naging close namin yung habal-habal rider to the point na parang family na sila na umiiyak sila pag paalis kami ng Siargao. Ganun yung levels na nalulungkot sila pag time to go na. Tapos yun, may from time to time nag-update sila, nagpapasalamat sila dahil isang goal namin ni Kirk talaga before is yung pag-share ng itinerary and also to help yung mga locals. Kasi what we do before, we put their numbers For example, habal-habal rider na recommend namin. Nalagay namin yung number ni Kuya, yung boatman, nalagay namin doon. So minsan talaga nagme-message sila na, mga sir, salamat. After nyo ilagay yung number ko, sobrang daming bookings na pumasok sa akin. So for us, yun yung isang fulfillment namin ni Kirk. Aside, syempre, dun sa busog yung mata namin sa magagandang lugar dito sa Pilipinas, yung experience, yung nakakatulong kami sa locals. We help the tourism tsaka yung mga small businesses.
To add to that, bro, diba, that si Kuya, the habal-habal driver, I know, just to give a little story, Miss Marian, he was an habal-habal driver. Pero after that trip namin, we shared our travel guides. That's what we do sa Lost Boys. We share yung photos and travel guides. And then, shinare namin yung number niya. A few months after, we did not expect it. Nag-viral yung post. A few months after, nakapagtayo na siya ng travel or agency. So, sobrang daming booking. So, sobrang tuwa namin, sobrang saya niya, sobrang tuwa din namin nakatulong kami. Pero ganong level na, wow, ito pala yung influence natin na the way nakakatulong tayo. So kami, sobrang taba ng puso namin na wow, may ganong factor pala.
Oh, nice. Ang ganda naman na experience na yan. Naku, ito na naman yung mga aso ko. Sorry talaga sa mga nakikinig. Pero part yan ng ating adventure. Yeah, you know what? I had the same reaction when I visited Siargao. You know, we have a fast cat there in Surigao to Leyte. Yes. And first time ko mag-Siargao din in January. Can you believe it? And I felt the same thing. Parang ang ganda dito. Diba? Like, iba-ibang itsura ng karagatan, di ba? Yung parang merong nasa Hawaii, merong natural swimming pool, beach, iba-ibang characteristics, di ba? And then pareho ba tayo na naramdaman nyo yung mga ang daming foreigner? Di ba yung nakikita mo yung mga nagmomotor, mga blonde, titingnan mo sa wow, yung ating Pilipina, blonde na blonde yung buhok. And then, nung na-overtake ng sasakyan namin, parang, wow, hindi siya Pilipina. Ano talaga, Russian. Wow, ang dami at tumitira talaga sila doon, di ba? Talagang love na love nila. So, I was at a dinner. Oh, no, we were in a farm visit last Sunday and a friend of mine who hasn't been there said talaga, ganun pa talaga kaganda? Talaga bang, worth ba talaga? So, sige nga, Brian and Kirk, talaga ba sa Siargao, aside from the beautiful sights, what made you think natitira ako dito? Gusto ko dito. And why do you think foreigners love Siargao so much?
Mainly, I think it's the vibe. Kasi the vibe of the place, it's very, I would say parang very homey, very simple, and the people. I think the people is a big factor. Bakit mahumaling ka sa island? Sobrang bait. Ganyan. So, ibang klase.
Okay. Totoo, tsaka ang sarap din ng food, no? Like, because of the mix of the nationalities, parang nagkaroon na ng fusion ng mga cuisine, no? So, parang marami tayong experience na pwede pang gawin and the opportunity abounds, no? Because dami-dami pang lupa, ang dami pang dapat gawin. And then you said about our people, Brian, talaga, totoo yan, no? Talagang isang strength ng Pilipino, the warmth of the Filipino. Right, no, Brian? Talagang tayong mga Pilipino, generally, we're friendly, we're warm, we're eager to please. And,
correct.
Diba? Yung talagang
Actually,
mararamdaman mo. Enjoy na tayo sa mga chika-chika. Yeah, Brian, please go ahead.
Yung sinabi niyo pong hospitality, tumatatak talaga sa isip namin yan. Ito, same story pa rin yung Siargao. Yung first visit namin, that habal-habal rider, actually, nag-ano lang po kami nun eh. Nag-ferry lang po kami kasi our flight is, I think, Butuan. And then we do talaga budget travel. Usually, that time, mahal pa yung direct na Siargao. And nakabook kami ng, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Butuan. So, we went to Siargao using the ferry. Paglabas po namin nung port, madami ng habal-habal riders po dun eh. Pero kasi typical or siguro natural reaction ng mga Pilipino or mga travelers, pag lumabas ka kasi, ayaw mong umengage dun sa mga, habal-habal, ganyan. So parang iiwasan mo sila eh. Pero that time po pala, I think there's a big event in Siargao na nagpunta kami. So most of the time fully booked. So we end up, itong habal-habal na nilagpasan namin nung una, binalikan din namin siya kasi wala kami masakyan. So, pagka sakay na namin sa kanya, naghahanap na doon na kami sa main part ng Siargao. Wala kami mabook na hotel, as in, tapos umuulan. Lahat ng accommodations, high and low ends, wala. Tapos, ang funny story pa nun, nag-end up kami dun sa bahay ng habal-habal, first night. Kasi wala na kami matutulugan for that day. Tapos, the following day na lang kami nakahanap ng accommodation. So, that shows yung grabe yung hospitality nung Pilipino na to the point no una pa nga nakaka-konsensya, iniiwasan namin siya kasi feeling namin tatagain niya kami sa rate or what. Parang ganun yung initial reaction namin. Pero ayun na, siya pa pala yung may concern sa amin na, sir, wala na kayo matutuluyan talaga ngayon. Dito na muna kayo sa bahay. So yun po, talagang grabe yung hospitality. Ibang level.
And not just in Siargao, di ba? I think in general naman yun.
In general.
Oh, nice. So ngayon, BFF na kayo. Talagang best friends na kayo nila kuya, di ba?
Nagkakatay po sila ng mga manok or talaga pinaghahandaan nila pag magbe-visit.
How nice. You know, you were talking about the beauty naman din of Palawan, and you said you want to go back and explore Palawan pa, di ba?
Yes.
You know, I was just there last weekend with my sister-in-law, and ganyan, yung first time niya sa Puerto, but not El Nido and Coron. And then she said talaga parang, wow, ang linis ng Palawan. Yung talagang pagka-landing mo, nagda-drive ka around, you actually get the sense na parang, wow, ang linis, hindi ka guys sa Manila. Did you have that sense also? Did you feel that when you were in Palawan?
Yes,
diba, no?
Definitely. Palawan, iba yung beauty niya, maganda. And masarap din yung pagkain. Mabait din yung mga tao. So, kanya-kanyang characteristic eh. May maraming spots na pwedeng bisitahin. So,
Exactly, yeah. No? Ang daming pwedeng puntahan. And I met with the head of the Association of Small Hotels in Puerto Princesa. And then I said the same thing. I said, wow. Brian, pangalan niya, Brian Dizon. I said, Brian, ang dami yung turista. Yung aeroplano going to Puerto Princesa from Cebu was like half foreigners. Like, so amazing. So amazing, di ba? Like, because we know that tourism brings in a lot of revenue, no, for the island. Kasi mamamasyal doon, kakain, yung tour guide, yung sasakyan, yung islands, lalangoy, pero they spend a lot of money. That's why we want to attract tourists, right? And if we go to Thailand, ang datos nila 20 million visitors a year as against the pre-pandemic time sa atin 6 million Filipinos. So you see you see the disparity and you see the opportunities for us in tourism. So seeing a lot of tourists in Puerto Princesa, a lot of foreigners, I told the guys, wow, ang galing, ang dami yung turista. Paano nyo ginagawa? Anong nangyari? Anong ginagawa ng Palawan to attract them? There are 17 flights a day daw. I researched 17 flights bringing in tourists to Palawan. And they go, kasi po na-vote ang Pilipinas na best island in the world. And because of that branding, that advertising, yung mga foreigners talaga, they fly. And then, when I did Siargao, nag-ferry din kami from Siargao to Surigao because FastCat is studying the possibility of connecting Surigao mainland to Siargao. Kasi ngayon parang maliit lang yung ferry passengers. And then nakaganito akong uniform. Kita nyo uniform ng FastCat. May lumapit sa akin foreigner. May lumapit na Spanish, married to a Filipina that owns a resort there. Tapos talagang nilapitan niya ako at sinabi niya sa akin, you must connect Surigao and Siargao because foreigners, they don't care about Manila. They want to see Palawan, Siargao, Palawan, and Boracay. Yung tatlo lang ang sinabi niya. So not Manila. So you have to connect. So go, thank you, sir. Thank you for the input. That's why we're here. We're studying that possibility. So talagang ang ganda, di ba? Ang ganda. And you know what the Palaweños told me? Sumisikat yung Balabak. Nagpunta kayo doon, no? Nakita ko yung post nyo. Yes, napanood ko yung video nyo. Yeah, yung south daw. So, lalapag sila ng Puerto Princesa, maybe for just a night to see Honda Bay and a quick island, of the city. But then they go na to the south, to explore, El Nido Coron and Balabak. How was that? Can you tell us that experience, seeing the south side of Palawan?
Well, honestly, the parts of Palawan that we explored are from Puerto Princesa going north. The south part is pending pa. So that's why we have a big plan for this year. We will bring our overlanding rig to Palawan. So we will use the Roro vessels to cross to Palawan, and then we will camp all the way from Puerto Princesa up to the northernmost and to the southernmost of Palawan. So we will do that in around 30 to 40 days. Actually, ni-spill ko na yung plan namin dito. So that will happen this year. So we are in the planning stage and then preparation stage kasi it's a long days of traveling, and then but that's the goal. We will explore tip to tip Palawan. So that's the goal for this year. And also to add, before, Palawan is so nice eh. What do you know about Palawan? Mostly beaches, island hopping. But nung nandun kami, we were talking to the locals. Hindi ko alam, may surfing spot din pala sila. So, really? Ganun. Parang you have to travel around 45 minutes from Puerto Princesa. You go to Nagtabon Beach, they have a surfing spot. So, I think most travelers or tourists doesn't know about that. So, that's the good thing about talking to the locals. Eh. You get to explore the lesser known places. And the place is nice also. It's a nice long stretch of beach with waves na pwede kang mag-surf. So marami pa talagang pwede. And Palawan, that's also on the top of our list.
Paradise, no? Paradise. San Vicente, I think, have their spot for surfing. Yeah. So okay, wait, listening to you, Kirk and Brian, na parang mabilis kayong kumilos, madali kayong makipag-usap kay habal-habal. Alam natin, habal-habal, maliit yan. So, ibig sabihin, mga light traveler kayo. So, you can travel with just a backpack. Ganun ba? Pwede ba yan?
Before we do light travel. Pero, the good thing now kasi, ngayon po, ang nagiging parang hilig namin is yung overlanding. Which is, pag overlanding naman po kasi.
Backpackers, right?
Backpackers na kami before. So, kasi, budget travel. So, hindi namin afford mag-avail ng check-in baggage for the plane ride. So, Backpack lang, lahat lang ng kasya doon. And then now po kasi, ang nangyayari is overlanding yung nagiging hilig namin. So when you say overlanding kasi, you bring your car, you bring your rig, tapos may roro ka pa na isasampa mo lang yung vehicle mo. So basically, pwede mo dalhin lahat eh. Full size na unan, pwede ka magdala ng lutuan, kawali, kaldero. So ngayon, ayun, yun po yung ano namin. From backpacker to dala lahat ng gamit sa bahay. Yun.
And also
Nice.
to
So,
add,
yes, go Kurt.
kasi before we started overlanding, backpacker talaga kami. That's why we experienced that habal-habal, yung mga single, maliliit na transportation. Kasi all we have is just backpack eh. So, pwede kaming sumakay doon on the go, ganyan. So, na-experience namin different modes of transportation. It's just that now, medyo nag-level up lang ng konti. So, pero we still do it. We still ride those habal-habal. Term nila dun sa Mindanao ba? I think Skylab, yung nakapak na gano'n, nakasakay ka sa gilid. So, masaya rin eh. It's an experience.
Yeah, kami ng sister-in-law ko nung nagbiyahe ng Palawan, nakatingin kami dun sa mga backpacker na ganyan. And then, in our heads, we were wondering, parang, magagawa kaya natin yan? Kasi di ba parang tayong Pilipino, we're known for talagang, oh my God, ang lalaki ng maleta. Like, one travel, meron akong kasama sa biyahe, Bacolod lang yata. And I was like, have my carry-on lang. Kasi parang 2 nights lang. And then yung kasama ko magbiyahe, wow, ang maleta niya, yung talagang large size. And I said, oy sis, grabe ka naman. 2 nights lang tayo, grabe ka. Sabi niya, kasi papunta, may bitbit siya mga pasalubong sa friends niya doon. Pauwi, magsha-shopping siya. Whether it's Siopaw, whether it's Roberto Siopaw, or Mang Inasal Chicken, na iuwi. So sabihin tayong Pilipino, talaga kung magbiyahe, talagang bonggang-bonggang shopping pagbalik. Whether Baker's Hill, Hopia, di ba, Mang Inasal, itong huling biyahe ko sa Cebu, Danggit, Palad, Pusit, di ba, isang kahon, bumili pa ako ng extra. So I always wonder how it's like to travel light. Okay, so you started doing that, backpack lang o Skylab. Ngayon, wow, overland na. Parang bago sa pandinig ko yung salitang overland. Uso na ba yan? Uso na ba yung overlanding? Paano ba nauso yan? And how did you start this overlanding?
Well, overlanding?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
We started, I think, a few months ago lang. I think we're a year na ba? Or wala pang year.
Wala pa.
No? We started traveling with car na, I think last year or 2 years ago. Ganun. But we travel by car. Pero not the thing na overlanding talaga. We travel ganun and explore the place. But overlanding, I think before the loop happened, or I think when the Fastcat and Mototesto partnership nung loop, that's what really introduced us to overlanding. So yun talaga yung pinakaunang step bakit na-introduce kami into overlanding. And we really enjoyed it, I swear. So hanggang ngayon, na-hook na kami. We do overlanding, I think, every week. So yeah, I think it's a different experience. And one thing I enjoyed about it is before you fly to, let's say, a certain province and explore. Pero what's good about traveling, bring your car or overlanding is you travel by land, diba? Anywhere you want to stop, let's say, oh, you pass by this province, you want to try their delicacy or what's famous here. You can go, you can stay and stop, eat their famous food or see their famous spot. So marami kang pwedeng gawin na side trips before you get to your destination na gusto mo talagang puntahan. So that's the beauty about overlanding. And then also, I think may impression yung mga tao na Philippines kasi islands, 'di ba? Ang hirap mag-travel, hirap tumawid, ganyan. Pero we want also to share and tell you guys na mahilig sa outdoor na it's very convenient and easy. Kasi kami nga, we've been doing it several times eh. So that's the reason na we want to share through our platform na it's very convenient, safe, and easy to travel, bringing your car and explore the country.
Correct.
Yeah, Brian, baka may dadagdag ka pa.
Ayun, yun. Tama yung point ni Kirk. Kasi before, pag sinabi natin kasing, dati parang passenger vessels lang eh. May mga sikat dati, yung mga medyo few years back. Pero ngayon kasi very possible na interconnected na yung mga islands. So basically, actually, you can do a loop talaga ng Philippines with your car. Masasakay mo siya sa Roro. Tapos siguro yun din yung sinabi ni Kirk na ngayon kasi pag sumasakay ka sa Roro, parang may mga brand new vessels na kasi ngayon eh, na you feel safe and secured. Kasi dito, medyo aside sa sarili mo, iniisip mo rin minsan, nandun yung sasakyan mo eh. So siguro dagdag peace of mind din na makikita mo yung vessel is well-maintained, bago. Ayun po, yun yung isang advantage ngayon na very possible na mag-travel ng nakakotse. Yan, kasi dati passengers lang if by sea. Yun po.
You know, Lost Boys, listening to you, you're like opening up possibilities for young Filipinos, no? Na parang minsan, we're so cooped in the city. Tapos yung iba, nakatira sa mga condo na dense. Parang ang sikip. But then, you said na, wow, there's so many islands to explore. Ang dami mo pwedeng puntahan na outdoors that, you know, it's now safe. Okay, ang tanong, siguro tatanungin ng mga tao, mahal ba? Kinompare nyo ba ang pagbabiyahe yung overlanding compared to maybe
backpacking,
air or backpacking? Like, mahal ba? Affordable ba? Afford ba? So kung halimbawa ako'y magsisimula pa lang, hindi pa talagang full-time overlander who wants to see the Philippines, how would you advise them to plan, to save, ganyan, anong pwedeng unang puntahan, na para wag naman mabigla. Yan, sige. Can you share with us out of your experience, can you share with us the best way to start this overlanding adventure?
Yes. For me, anyone can do it with proper preparation. Kasi if you want to do it, there's planning stage eh. You have to do research where the places you want to go. So kailangan medyo organized ka para hindi yung pabalik-balik ka. So this is my route. Ano yung places na mapupuntahan ko dito? So that's one thing you have to consider. You have to plan your itinerary because that will save you time, fuel, and gastos. Two, sa expenses, I would say kaya naman siya, pero you need to plan kasi baka magulat ka na lang bigla eh. So that's why planning also is important, especially if you're traveling inter-island because that would take you days, di ba? So traveling that would take you days would also mean you have to spend money through Roro or food or whatever. So you need preparation. And with that, you can manage your budget. Let's say eto lang yung budget ko. Okay, so ito yung mga spots. Makikita mo na agad hanggang saan yung kaya mong puntahan. 'Di ba? Hindi yung magugulat ka lang na doon ko gustong pumunta sa province na to pero yung budget ko is this. You can always, parang plan within your budget. So that's why I can say anyone can do it. Just proper planning, kasi research, because also again, to maximize your time also, so that's very important. Yung mga schedules ng vessels, Roro, is i-consider mo eh. Kasi when you travel, pagdating mo dun sa port, wala na palang biyahe. So ending, let's say you would end up spending a night there. So sayang. So that's the other factor na you would consider na, okay, by this time dapat nasa port na ako kasi may biyahe ng ganito. So maraming factor, pero again, with proper planning and research, everything is doable.
Brian, may dagdag ka ba?
With the question kung mas mahal ang overlanding versus yung traditional na you're taking a plane, siguro I can say maybe, but ang difference kasi, like if you do travel by plane, paglapag mo sa destination mo, most of the time you will rent a car. You will book an accommodation. With overlanding kasi, may mga cancel out ka na gastos. Like for example, yung Roro. Sa Roro kasi, if you sinampang mo yung car mo, may free na yun eh. Free na yung driver doon. So siguro sa pamasahe, yun, medyo parang parehas lang din versus booking 2 tickets sa plane. Tapos pagdating mo dun sa destination, instead of riding a habal-habal or siguro mag-rent a car ka, you have your vehicle na. So makakapag-ikot ka na rin dun sa sa destination mo. And then lastly siguro sa accommodation naman kasi instead of booking a hotel, sabi nga kasi nila pag overlanding, nandun yung tent mo. So pwede ka na lang mag-pitch anywhere, nakasave ka na rin ng accommodation kasi doon ka na matutulog. Your car is your accommodation na. So I can
And
say siguro match lang eh. Medyo. But you need to plan and you need to prepare your vehicles, guys, kasi to save time para hindi rin masira yung lakad. So if nandito ka pa sa home base mo, bago ka lumakad, do the PMS, yung usual checking ng vehicles, very important yan. And planning, sabi ni Kirk, organized dapat kasi para hindi pa balik-balik.
Nice. Planning, preparation, and of course, budget. Kirk, you wanted to say something?
Also, I want to add also the thing na pwede mo ma-save is food. Because in overlanding, you have your tent. You have your kitchen set. Ganyan.
So, correct.
So, pwede ka nang bumili ng fresh seafood. And then, if you cook, lutuin mo kung anong gusto mong luto. Fresh pa, masarap pa, ikaw pa gumawa. So, that way, you can also save. Diba?
Uy, how nice. Talagang adventure kayo. But I have a question. So, you just park anywhere? Meron bang designated? Kasi in the States, alam ko yung mga RV, di ba? Merong RV park. Like, alam nyo, designated RV park yun. And then may mga benches, tables, or plugs where you can plug water for a fee. So, Philippines, how's that? Meron bang ganyan? Or may technique ba dyan? Tatabi ka sa tabi ng gas station or whatever. I don't know. And yun nga, kasi syempre concern ko dyan, security. Hindi pa kayo natatakot? Papark na lang kayo. Hindi ba may ahas o may Tell us about it.
The best tip for that is always ask the locals or the local officials or tourism officer. Ganyan. Because that they know where saan pwedeng magpark yung vehicle eh. They know the spot na pwede or hindi. So they will tell you kung safe dyan or hindi. So that's the best tip I can give. Kasi to be honest naman, Philippines, kahit saan maraming pwede. Pero again, if concerning safety, talk to the locals. I'm sure there are locals nearby na pwede mong pagtanungan. And again, talking to them, they will give you the right spot. And also, imo-monitor ka pa nila kasi that's what Filipino do di ba? Masyado mabait. They will, baka nga, servan ka pa nung kung ano pang meron sila eh. That's very...
Totoo yan. But you know, Kirk, you're giving me ideas. Parang opportunity yan. Dapat mag-organize tayo na meron ng mga area sa mga overlanders. Na, di ba? Where you can park overnight, bring your car, and provide that.
Same as the US, right? Parang
yes.
This is the camping area, ganyan.
Exactly. And it's an opportunity. Sana kung nakikinig sa atin yung DOT, pwede nating sabihin sa kanila na parang, come on, let's, and LGU, no? DOT, LGU na, okay, can you designate areas where the overlanders can set up? And then maybe doon makita mo meron ng labahan. Malalaban na mga damit nyo. Di ba? Dito ka pwede maglaba. Oh.
And especially now that overlanding is a growing community. Di ba? So, that's a very good, parang sana mangyari in the future na may mga spots na talaga na designated, ganun. Pero again, for now, we explore it. Talagang we love the off the beaten path kind of adventure. So, kahit medyo libre, basta kasya sa sakyan, and if they say na maganda yung spot doon, papasukan namin yun. And we would camp there, ganun.
Wow! And then, hindi ba kayo nabobore? Hindi pagdating doon, like, you have the whole day, you don't feel like, oh my God, ano nang gagawin ko dito? Di ba? How many hours of active exploring do you dedicate in a day, in an area? Yan, I'm curious about that. At saka di ba kayo nag-aaway? Parang hindi kayo nagugugnot. Puro na ako sa kanya.
When you say bored, never pa naman kasi again, we are outdoor guys eh. So we love to be in the outdoor. So it's either we just sit there and enjoy the view, or we look something na or anong klaseng activity meron. We don't get, I mean, I would say hindi naman kami nabobore talaga eh. Kasi again, there are so many things that you can do. So either you sit down and enjoy the view, or go out and explore the area. Ganun. And kung away man, I think may mga instances din naman na magkakainisan. Pero what's good thing about us, kasi we've been friends for years na talaga. Pag medyo nainis na, mapapansin mo na eh, tatahimik na lang. Huwag mo nang sabayan. So, just give time. Tumatahimik lang kami. And then after ilang hours or after a few time, okay na. Pero yung argue talaga, it never happened.
Wala.
Never pa.
Parang masyadong cheesy kasi parehas kami lalaki, siguro ko parang hindi for us to mag-away na ganun. So siguro tama si Kirk, yung years of friendship, we've been together sa work, naging business partners din kami, and traveling, years of traveling together, we know the personality, we know the preferences. So yun, wala pa talaga yung away na physical or sagutan. We agree to disagree na lang minsan kasi hindi rin may iwasan. Pero when it comes to your question, ma'am, pagdating sa pagiging bored or siguro isang ginagawa namin, kasi siguro yun, most of the time, pag nandun na kami sa destination, we shoot for contents, we edit yung mga contents namin. Pero siguro pag bored na kami, we explore na eh. Dito na papasok yung pagiging explorer namin. So, usually we will go around, yun lang, kaya sa vicinity lang where we camp. Siguro emerge with the locals, talk with the locals. Kasi by doing that, minsan may masasabi sila na pwede pa pala namin gawin, pwede namin explore na hindi na available sa Google. Yung sila lang nakakaalam. May mga pagkain na pwede namin subukan. Sikat tong ganito dito na hindi namin alam. So, isa yun sa siguro ginagawa namin pag bored na. Ayun.
Nice. So, meron din component na parang work. Nagsisingit din kayo ng work kasi that's when you edit your content, that's when you record your content, and maybe be creative, no? You get to, you inspire creative, you get creative when you look at nature, you appreciate the view, and then you have your creative juices up. Okay. You know what? I'll tell you a story. Nung buhay pa si Ma'am Gina Lopez, there was an event, she invited me, and then she told me, Mary Ann, maglagay ka rin ng barko sa Tawi-Tawi. And you know, yung reaction mo kanina, Kirk, kanina about, parang, di ba na Mindanao, parang, I said, Ma'am, di ba nakakatakot doon? Ma'am, hindi ba nakakatakot doon? And she goes, mas nakakatakot sa Manila. Sa Manila, hawak mo yung phone mo, may mag-snatch. Sabi niya, sa Tawi-Tawi, wala. Sabi niya, pink sand, ganda. And then concrete homes, there are concrete homes in Tawi-Tawi that are empty. And I said, empty? Bakit? Sabi niya, kasi they are OFW homes. So yung mga OFW na family members, they send their money, nagpapagawa sila ng concrete homes, and then empty kasi nga, nandun sila sa labas. And then they invite you and serve you, sabi niya, the biggest fish you can have. You know, yan yung food, papakainin kita, papatulugin ka pa doon for free.
Yes. Grabe, no? Ganyan talaga yung Filipino. Very, very accommodating yung hospitality ng Filipino. Top-notch talaga.
Grabe, di ba? The warmth of the Filipino. And we look at the foreigners, they come, they enjoy. So minsan, Kirk and Brian, naniniwala ba kayo na sometimes tayong Pilipino mismo ang naglilimit sa sarili natin? Yung tayo yung nega sa sarili natin. When other nationalities value us, appreciate us, tayo yung nagsasabing, ay, Pilipino always late, ay, nega tayo, ay, tamad tayo, ay, da. You think? Ganun ba tayo?
To be honest, I would say meron pa rin ganun. Pero I think most of us naman is nag-a-adapt na eh, nag-evolve tayo eh. Kasi again, with meeting tourist people na nagiging open na tayo. Pero again, we cannot judge or blame other people na thinking like that. Kasi again, that's their character. Pero again, what we can do is to show them na this is the good side of this, let's say, if you will be open, ganyan. So that's the only thing that we can do para ma-open up sila.
Correct.
Yeah, so talagang dapat mag-inspire tayo, no, ng positivity sa ating mga kababayan, especially the young people who are listening here, that talagang there's goodness in us, and our country is beautiful, and therefore we must celebrate it. And ano pa bang way but to travel and see the countryside. So okay, question. Pag sinabi ng mga followers nyo, pwedeng sumama sa trip nyo, lalo na nung magti-trip kayo sa Palawan, mag-a-adventure kayo. Is there such a thing? Pwede po bang sumama? That's one. And then maybe, can you share with us the highlights of the Philippine Overland Loop that you joined? You know, maybe can you share with us 3 unforgettable experiences you did, and maybe the bonding you had with the overlanders, and naging continuous ba friendship nyo? Ang dami kong tanong, no, kasi baka malimutan ko eh. So yeah, please share with us. Thank you.
So, regarding dun sa pwede ba sumama, we are open to it. We parang yes, pwede. Pero again, may mga instances naman na may kasama kaming friends or mga... Actually, well, I'm gonna share a story. There's a follower of us, pero isa lang kasi siya. So, follower siya, nag-message siya na, pwede ba sumama sa next trip mo? And then, when we did this overlanding in Nueva Ecija with Moto Testo, Brian was not available that time. So, what I did, minessage ko yung follower. I said, hey brother, may trip kami. Gusto mo sumama? Hindi ko siya kilala ha. Sabi niya, okay, sige, game. Nag-game siya. Sinama ko siya, doon. So, 3 days, 2 nights kami doon. Ayun, tapos nagkwentuhan kami, gano'n, nakilala ko yung tao na stranger. Pero again, at the end, naging mabuting kaibigan kami hanggang ngayon. So, again, hindi kami yung talagang open kami to meet and travel with other people. And then for the Overland Loop na happened late last year, sobrang memorable na. I think if 3 highlights lang, parang kulang, pero sobrang daming nangyari, sobrang daming memories. Pero highlights, I would say yung Bukidnon also is one of the best stop nung loop na yon. Kasi Bukidnon is underrated yung beauty ng place. So I want people to know na this place has this unique beauty na may enjoy mo talaga. So I wish we could stay longer there sa Bukidnon, pero again we have itinerary to follow. Pero that's one of the highlights na nag-camp kami sa tuktok ng bundok na yung view is breathtaking, grabe. So talagang sa tuktok ng bundok, sobrang ganda. And then so sobrang dami yung seafood experience sa Rojas, na sabi nung nag-host doon na yung mga seafood na yan is kakahuli lang kaninang umaga. Lahat yan. So niluto agad, kaya sobrang fresh. I mean, that's the best way to, parang, and Rojas City is known for their, seafood capital. That's the best way to parang host your, let's say, visitors. Yun, na-enjoy talaga namin. And then, talking about the people na we meet during the loop, hanggang ngayon, connected pa din kami. People within the loop, yung members, hanggang ngayon, connected pa rin kami. People na na-meet namin during the loop sa mga provinces, connected pa rin kami. So that's a very good thing na sobrang saya din namin, kasi that's connecting with people is a very good way na parang ma-enjoy mo yung travel mo kasi when you go back to that area, at least may kilala ka na. At least they can give advice about the area. So I would say marami na kaming connection na tao na meet na all around the Philippines. And yes, yung members ng Philippine Loop hanggang ngayon, kahit paano, close pa din kami. And we just did a camp 2 days ago. It's a week-long camp sila pa din yung kasama namin.
Wow! Yes. Wow! Ryan, may dadagdag ka? Dagdag mo na. And then meron
siguro, dun sa unang question niyo po kung pwede sumama. Yes, pwede sumama. Actually, gusto namin yan para hindi na kami mapagkamalang mag-jowa ni Kirk. Actually, minsan yung mga comments, actually, we have, may mga wife and girl, fiancé kami. Actually, going back, dun sa loop, kasi yung next question is yung highlight ng loop. Actually, from my end po, I think 7 or 8 days lang yung natapos ko sa loop kasi nag-propose ako sa girlfriend ko naman sa Japan. Nag-overlap siya. So guys, hindi kami magjowa ni Kirk, for your information. Sumama kayo para sa content, marami tayo. And then siguro yung highlight, as Kirk mentioned, yung food. I think 24 lechon throughout that entire loop. Na to the point na hindi na si Kirk din na raw kumakain ng lechon ng mga end na loop. Nagsawa na siya sa lechon. And what else? Siguro, ayun, gusto ko lang din i-mention ulit yung mga people na kasama namin nag-loop and yung mga people na na-meet namin during that loop. Malaking bagay. And yun nga, kasama lang namin sila last week. Ang saya din na by traveling, you build your, yung friends, yung network mo. And siguro, pagdating naman sa destination, sabi ni Kirk, actually, hindi ko na po ito naabutan nung loop. This is, it's called G1 in Eastern Samar. Sabi ko, bro, anong highlight? Sabi niya, actually, lahat ng highlight pag alis mo eh. Sabi niya sa akin gano'n. So sabi ko, okay. Ano masasabi mong highlight? Sabi niya, yung G1 daw in Eastern Samar is one of the best na babalikan. So what we did, this January, we did a semi-loop. Bumaba ulit kami, nag-inter-island ulit kami, nag-roro kami, tapos dumaan kami ng G1 Eastern Samar. And true enough, parang ito na yung next na titira kami dito. Parang gano'n. Parang siya na yung Siargao namin. Sobrang ganda ng vibe, sobrang raw, and sobrang pa siya, virgin pa. Ganda, super ganda.
Imagine Siargao without the, parang commercial area. That's one.
Really? Nako, hindi pa ako nakakapunta dyan, Kirk and Brian. Baka pwedeng sama niyo ako.
Sige po.
Sa inyo?
Pwede
po.
Alam mo, pangarap namin ni Mr. Pastiani, tagal-tagal na sinasabi niya, gagawin natin yan, iikot tayo, Diyos ko, pero pagka puro trabaho na, di ba? Aside na. So parang sabi ko, asa na yung promise natin gagawin natin yan?
we were looking forward nga na makasama kayo nung loop eh.
Correct.
Pero naman, work that in the way. But it's alright. Dahil ini-inspire niyo ako, talagang I will really find time to join you as overlanders and go around and see the Philippines, no? Napakagandang ng inuumpisahan niyo at you're really paving the way for a lot of Filipinos, inspiring Filipinos to see the islands and enjoy it with the community. My next question is the profile of those overlanders that you've been with. What are the profile? Matatanda ba sila? Bata ba sila? Retired ba sila? Estudyante ba sila? How are they able to do this? For those, for our listeners who are saying, nagagawa nila yan kasi ganito, yan. So ano ba profile? Paano ba maging overlander?
Honestly, nung loop,
sige, go.
yung kami lang yung bata. Honestly, kami lang yung bata nung loop na yung first experience namin as overlanding and Philippine loop na overland. So, sabi ko kay Brian, bro, tayo lang yung bata yata dito. Lahat mga maid na, ganyan. I mean, maid guys and na. So, mga professionals talaga, ganyan. So, pero, moving on, nagka-camp kami, nag-overland kami, moving forward, marami naman din kaming na-meet na, mga ka-age na din namin and different ages na bata, matanda, babae, lalaki, they're into overlanding na. Pero at first, yes, that's the impression kasi medyo mga, I would say tatay, gano'n, na mga professionals na medyo steady na. Yeah, again, I think because overlanding is not, I would say, not a cheap hobby. I would say, ganun. Kasi medyo magastos din. Pero again, we have a different preferences. Pwede naman, you can build your overlanding rig depende sa budget mo. Pero yes, different ages naman din na na-meet namin.
Yeah.
Nice. All ages, yung mga steady na, parang, okay, they have grown kids, they have some money to spend to see the island. Yan yung profile ng overlanders. And then the equipment, mahal ba yan? Mahal ba yung equipment nyo na sasakyan na may tent sa ibabaw at lutuan? Just give an idea dun sa mga nag-a-aspire para naman pag-ipunan nila at planuhin nila. Mahal ba yan? Like, to prepare one, like the simple, basic sasakyan and kit of an overlander. Okay.
I'll be honest and fair. So, building an overland rig will cost you money. I think yung tent sa taas na nakakabit sa amin is around 100,000+, mga ganun. Pero again, we always have options. There are cheaper ones na maybe pasok sa budget nyo. So hindi naman kasi to pabonggahan eh. It's just depende to sa preference mo. Kung ano yung best for you, ganyan. Kung ano yung think mo is useful for you, ganyan. So hindi mo kailangan na meron siya niyan, kailangan meron ako niyan. No. You have to go out, experience it, and then from there, dun ka mag-adjust kung ano yung kailangan mo. Kasi again, hindi mo kailangan bilhin lahat. Dun mag-adjust ka lang what is useful. Yun. So budget, you will need to allot money for building a rig. Pero again, with proper budgeting and preparation and also going out experience, malalaman mo kung ano yung mga kailangan mo. Actually, hanggang ngayon kami, yung overland car namin, is kung makikita mo, mukhang ready na to, ganyan, kompleto na. Pero honestly, hindi pa. Marami pa kaming na-realize. Every time we go out, every time we camp, bro, kulang pa tayo ng ganito. Kasi wala tayong magamit na ganito. So every camp, may nadidiscover kami na kailangan, na kulang. So that's how we base what we add or put in our rig.
Okay. Tama. To add po siguro, I think tama si Kirk it will depend on your preference. Hindi rin siguro pag sinabi mong overlanding magastos na kasi ang Pilipino known yan for being maparaan diskarte. Actually, may nag-overlanding na meron siya yung parang tok-tok, 3 wheels. Kasi inisip natin pag overlanding, yung mga brusco na kotse talaga ng 4x4, malaking gulong. Meron talaga nag-overlanding. So siguro mabagal lang siya, easy lang yung pacing niya, pero nakakapag-overlanding siya. And also, ngayon kasi, yun nga, as I mentioned, yung Pilipino maparaan, pwede nyo i-DIY yung mga overlanding rigs nyo. Let's say yung tent. Kurt mentioned it's 100,000 or more. Pero may nakita na rin ako gumawa, DIY lang. They bought yung materials, bakal, lona. Tapos ang Pilipino kasi magaling kumopya ng ng mga kung paano ba gumagana tong rooftop tent. Nilagay lang nila sa owner jeep nila. So, ayun, kung siguro tight ka sa budget, you can go on that style ng overlanding. Tapos eventually upgrade na lang pag talagang siguro best din siguro i-fill nyo rin muna before ka magbuhos ng pera na bubuhos ko lahat ng pera ko dito, setup ko, sagad yung rig. Pero mamaya, pagka-try mo, hindi mo pala trip yung overlanding. So, yun. Try nyo muna, experience it. Tapos, siguro slowly but surely, build your dream rig. Ayun.
Wow. So, Brian, biglang parang you opened up an idea again na hindi lang pala limited sa sasakyan. Pwede ring motor. Pwede ka ring mag-overland ng motor. Pwede ka ring mag-overland na tuk-tuk. Ano ba tawag doon? Tuk-tuk ba talaga? Sa Thailand yung tuk-tuk, diba?
Thailand po kasi yun, opo.
Oo. Tricycle. Uso na yan ngayon sa akin. May ganyan na.
Opo.
Campers, marami na rin gumagawa dito sa Philippines. As in, moto-campers, they camp on motorcycles. So, marami na.
Oh, really? There's such a thing? Moto-camper?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, because we see that talaga. In fact, merong nag-book sa FastCat na like an association of motorcycle hobbyists, like 2,000 of them, from Cebu going to Bohol. Tapos I think the goal was ikutin yung buong Bohol on a bike.
Wow.
Wow,
Yeah.
2,000 members. Grabe, dami.
Yeah, 2,000. Spread over 2 days yata. Iba-ibang oras yung kanilang biyahe. Wow, exciting. Okay, so I have a question. So you said you have may mga fiancé na kayo pareho. So yung mga mag-aasawa na kayo soon, sasama ba sila sa inyo? Are they also into it? Do you see yourselves continuing and doing this and being accompanied by your wives when you continue your adventures?
Bro, go ahead.
Yung like fiancé ko, she grew up kasi rin na yung family niya medyo outdoor. So as a kid, yung mga kapatid niya as a family, they do campings na. Hindi pa overlanding kasi yung term dati, camping, ganun. So, but recently kasi itong pag Lost Boys, siguro busy rin kasi siya with her work. Pero itong lately, nasasama ko na siya. Nakakasama na namin siya. Kasi with her work naman now, it's nice kasi medyo remote din. Ngayon kasi marami na ring places sa Philippines na may signal, kumbaga may data. So, pwede na tawag dito, mag-work kahit naka-camp. Ayun. So, looking forward, syempre.
Work from camp.
Work from camp.
Looking forward kasi I think that's one good thing about overlanding as a hobby. Maraming hobby kasi na pwede mong gawin na ikaw lang sarili mo lang yung dala mo. Pero with overlanding kasi pwede mong bitbitin yung family mo. Which is a one good way to bond yung with family talaga.
Nice. Yes. And then yung mga anak niyo na rin yan, Brian, magiging
Correct.
explorers and wonders na. You know, I know of families na talagang ang goal naman nila around the world, drinap nila lahat, pati education ng mga bata. Basta may structure. Because traveling is education in itself, right?
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
True.
They just put on some structure para yung mga bata. Like maybe every night after a trip, you journalize. Ganyan, di ba? You journalize. Or the way we discuss, where we went, what did you learn? I-include na nila dyan yung science, ang humanities, social studies. They drop like 1 year, 3 years, pero world naman, ganyan. So yeah, I'm glad na ganun yung pareho kayo na an explorer and you are going to adventure as a couple and as a family. How about you, Kirk? What's your idea on this? If you become head of the family, do you see yourself continuously being an explorer and a wanderer?
Yes, definitely naman. Pero my situation with compared to Brian is hindi into outdoor yung fiancé ko and yung baby namin na 4 years old. So, pero what I do is I always try, that's what I can do try to influence them na para sumama. So, and so far hindi pa ako successful, pero I know eventually they will give it a try. So, I'm still looking forward to that time. Kasi again, different naman yung the different preferences ng mga tao So maybe they enjoy the indoor for now, but hopefully if they get to try it someday, I know they will enjoy it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I think when they see your passion, they see that you enjoy, then maybe one day sasama rin sila in the time. Meron ako tatanong na kanina ko pa nasa sa isip. So, saan naliligo? Saan kayo nagbabanyo? When you do this? Yung pala yung gusto kong tanongin kasi syempre naman mga babae. Concern namin yan. Saan magbabanyo? Saan maliligo? O yan.
Yan yung yan yung isa sa main concern ng fiancé ko. Kaya madahil lang siya hesitant siya sumama. Pero again, I mean, when we travel with Brian, when we overland, parang we embrace the life of simplicity. Ganon. So talagang cowboy style, dapat prepared kami. So, may mga areas na you have to do those stuff na talagang, I would say, sa gilid, yung magna-number 2 ka sa damuhan. Yes, honestly, and we are not shy to tell you that we also do that. Kasi again, this is, in overlanding, in camping in general, we are trying to ground ourselves na parang even if you're living this kind of life in Manila or wherever, we want to stay grounded. We want to feel the simplicity pa din yung ganun, ng simpleng buhay. Kasi again, it's that's how we parang enjoy this life para to stay humble and to stay grounded. So yes, we do it sometimes in the damuhan, and then when we ligo, sometimes we do it in the river. Pero right now we have this water source in our car, so that's a big help because Mototesto gave it to us, ganyan. So it's a very big help na makakaligo na kami ng fresh water, ganyan. Pero most of the time, ganyan, pag ubos yun, river or ano pa bang ibang mga nililiguan natin. Minsan, actually, this one. Minsan, dumalapit kami sa bahay ng locals. We talk to them, pwede po ba makiligo? Ganyan. Pwede po ba makigamit? Pag sobrang na talaga, let's say, kailangan na talagang ganun. And then, luckily, yung mga locals naman, sobrang bait. They accommodate you. Minsan nga, papakainin ka pa Pero syempre, again. Correct. Yun.
Yeah. Brian, you wanted to add something?
Ayun, Kurt mentioned yung talagang pagiging cowboy style po, no? Siguro what I can add na lang is pagdating naman sa overlanding, marami na rin kasing equipments or gears na para ka na rin may sariling toilet Meron yung mga shower cube, tapos may toilet bowl talaga na wherein you put like a plastic para nandun yung waste disposal. Tapos to the point na I think may na rin talaga ngayon na parang may nilalagay na silang gamot na if you do yung number 1, parang magiging gel type yung yung liquid. So magiging siya, madali yung waste disposal kumbaga. So but on that part, you need to siguro spend a little, medyo pricey yung mga ganung hindi lang pricey, marami na rin talagang rin naman, mura, pero game kami ni Kirk, kumbaga, if going back to the question, game kami dun sa, pilapil, ganun. Kaya, eto pong last overlanding trip namin ni Kirk, bumili kami ng pala. Kasi you need to do it properly din. Siguro you need to prepare din, magbaon ka na ng mga surgical gloves, some wet wipes, ganun, tapos yung pala. Ganun po yung
there's an option to buy yung mga toilet bowl naman, which we don't have pa as of now. So that's why we do it yung mga ganun sa damuhan. Pero again, you can buy it naman and then, sit there comfortably.
And it's really part of the adventure, di ba? Yung matatandaan mo na parang, yeah, you know what? Can I tell you a story? How we started this Roro business. So my husband's father lived in Calbayog, Samar. No, nag-retire from being a pilot at the age of 50. And so we would visit, drive and visit to Calbayog. And then yung isang beses na tatawid kami, nasa Matnog kami. My God, yung toilet, mix ang pangbabae at panglalaki. Tapos may tubig, may puddle of water na my God, diring-diri talaga ako. So what happened was, I held my pee all throughout. Talagang pinili ko, hindi na ako ihihal, diring-diri ako. Tapos yung asawa ko doon sa may stribo, pumunta doon sa dulo ng port. Nakakatawa nga humawak lang siya doon and then doon siya nag-number 2. Tapos mamaya may barko, may ilaw. Can you imagine that? And then pag sumakay ng Roro noon, parang rinig mo yung ingay ng makina, and then yung usok na suit na itim, and then hindi ka makabanyo. And you know what? Somehow, in that trip, we said the prayer and said, oh my God, ganito na lang ba Pilipino? Kawawa naman kung ganito kami. So, and then we said the prayer, sana isang araw makatulong tayo dito sa industriya na to. And somehow, see, we're here. We're here. That's why, we came up with the brand, said kung gagawin natin yan, kailangan, very safe, very fast, very convenient, because we don't want this for our country. We don't want this for our people. Dapat naman mag-elevate tayo, di ba? So, that's also because of the toilet story. Because of that, di ba?
We want to commend you also for that because we've experienced, traveling with your vessels around the country. And we would say, without bias, na iba yung experience sa inyo. It's clean, it's malamig yung aircon, malinis yung CR. Well, I'm gonna say it without bias. Kasi we've experienced different Vesas din naman ganun. Pero I have to commend, we would like to commend you on that. It's a good job.
Give credit where credit is due. Actually, na-mention ni Kirk, ayun, sobrang lamig ng Fastcat vessel.
Kailangan mag-jacket, di ba? Totoo yun.
Yan ang number 1 tip namin. Magdala kayo ng jacket nyo. And siguro, to add din, Fastcat vessels, it's PWD friendly. Especially, ako kasi very particular ako with that. Kasi my dad, I can say PWD na siya. So, medyo may tama yung tuhod niya. So, very important sa akin yun yung isa kong tinitignan lagi, yung mga access sa elevator, sa mga wheelchairs, ganun. So, kudos and a good job kay Fastcat.
Thank you. At saka alam niyo ba, Kirk and Brian, well, for one, we'd like to believe that, God put us here for a mission, no? So we're doing our part in nation building, ganyan, in national unity and making an impact in our people. Like you, we want to inspire others na pwede palang magandang barko, especially in an archipelagic nation like ours, no? So that's our driving force, no? We want to make an impact in that arena and really inspire people. Also, like example, just sa nasakyan nyo na, halimbawa, Mindanao area, we experienced na yung banyo natin doon, nagbaha on a new ship. And I said, why? Kasi yung mga kababayan natin doon, naliligo doon sa loob ng Fastcat. Yeah. Or they use the bidet to wash their feet. Ganyan. Because I think yung faith nila, di ba, is wants them to wash at certain times. Ganyan.
Correct.
So what are we learning? So some of our people would say, so patayin na lang ba natin yung bidet and all, and do we adjust? And then we said, no, we still want to keep that modern ship because we want to educate people and we still want them to experience. But maybe what we're learning is, depending on where we are, then maybe we will also tailor fit the design of the ship, for them. Parang ganyan. So and in connecting the Philippine Islands, we learn more about the culture. We learn more about their food, their habits, and understanding that we have a better understanding of what is Filipino and who are the Filipinos and how can we be able to serve them. And I think you're doing the same in touring the Philippines, in exploring and doing an adventure. You realize who we are as a Filipino, sino yung mga kapatid nating Filipino, and in that understanding, we will be able to help also, di ba? We understand each other, then we promote peace, hindi tayo nag-aaway. And then how do we adjust so that we can make an impact, Yun, yung ginawa ninyo, nakinonect nyo yung habal-habal driver in your audience, and now meron siyang business, may travel agency na siya. So, in our little ways, we can have a positive impact. Diba? Yes. Kirk and Brian, talaga impact, big impact in what we do. We don't have to be like a scientist. Hindi po, diba? Dalin mo yung kung saan ka magaling, dalin mo saan ang passion mo, and then you can actually make an impact. Hindi hadlang yung kahit anong maliit na meron ka to make an impact. So you've seen a lot of the provinces. What are your wish list pa? So okay, yun ang tanong ko. Ano pa wish list niyo? Anong wish ko? If you see yourself continuing in your exploration, in your adventure, in your style, ano po yung wish niyo pa dito sa industriya na naririnig ng mga tao, and then maybe also to our audience, the young. Ano po yung wish list niyo sa mga young people na nakikinig sa atin, na mga anytime maritimers, being an archipelagic nation, ano po ba dapat ang ang dapat nilang tingnan? Yan, wish list.
For me, siguro, one of my wish is, being an outdoor guy, is to travel longer na dire-diretso. Kasi, again, we have a family, I have a family. So, hindi pwedeng ganun ka, sobrang tagal ka mawala eh. So, but that's one of my wish na to continue travel and explore pa yung mga hindi pa na-explore na areas. Kasi marami pa rin naman talaga. Although marami na kaming napuntahan, pero sobrang dami pa yung hindi na-explore. Marami pang kailangan i-expose na beauty ng Pilipinas. Also, another wish list is, since you've mentioned na, di ba, islands nga tayo dito sa Pilipinas, though it's on, nandun na sa way na yun na interconnected na kahit papano. Pero I'm sure there's still more, tawag dito, may improvements pa na kailangan gawin para ma-connect pa yung ibang islands, let's say yung inner islands or smaller islands, ganun. Kasi, again, that's that's one way to explore our country. Kasi nga, islands tayo. So, meron kasing ibang places na hindi mo mako-consider puntahan kasi pahirapan pumunta. Mga ganun. So, I'm sure in the near future, magagawa ng paraan yon. So, that's one of my wish na para maging very convenient na talaga yung traveling around the country. Because, again, hindi lang tayo yung magbe-benefit, kundi yung mga locals and the country as well. In a bigger picture, diba? So, I'm sure, also with your help, with your company also, I'm sure nandun na rin kayo sa path na yun. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that, time.
Yeah. Actually, Kirk, listening to you, I'm thinking of the Sustainable Development Goals, set by the United Nations, of providing decent transportation to islands, like ours, because once we connect the island, it does a ripple effect, on the economy, education, trade, di ba? Yung mga farmers na nagpo-produce, maitatawid nila, mabebenta nila yung kanilang produce. So they don't become isolated. So we're opening up. So yeah, what I heard from you is connecting more islands in a very safe, very fast, convenient way.
Correct. Yes, correct.
So that more Filipinos can see and explore our islands. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, Kirk. Brian, may dadagdag ka ba dyan?
On my part, personal wish ko siguro, same with Kirk, yung makapag-travel na mahaba, and siguro, of course, to accomplish na rin yung long-term, yung matagal na naming goal to visit the 81 provinces. Especially ngayon na medyo around 10 to 15 na lang yung kulang namin. Yon. And siguro may wish naman for other people is for them to give lesser known places off the grid destinations a try. Kasi you will be amazed. This is coming from us siguro na nakapag-igot na talaga. We can see napuntahan na namin halos lahat sa Pilipinas. Pero from time to time, parang laging mapapawaw ka pa din eh. Laging may wow factor pa din. And siguro yun yung wish ko is syempre mabigyan, yun yung wish ko para mabigyan din ng kumbaga chance yung mga ibang LGU. Kasi syempre pag sinabi natin na traveling, the domestic travel, nandiyan yung Boracay, Palawan, Siargao ngayon, syempre nandiyan na siya sa top. Pero sana mabigyan pa yung mga ibang provinces kasi marami maganda. Sobra yung beauty, rich in beauty ang Philippines eh. I guarantee you guys, ma-amaze kayo. Pag hindi kayo na-amaze na pinuntahan yung province, libre ko na, sagot ko na yung trip nyo. Yun yung guarantee ko. Mapapawaw kayo. Wow factor talaga yung Philippine destination.
Totoo pala yung tagline ng DOT na Wow Philippines.
Wow Philippines.
Wow Philippines. Oh, you know what? That's really also one of my frustration na parang ang Pilipino, ang bilis pumunta ng Hong Kong, ang bilis pumunta ng Japan, pero hindi pa nakakaikot ng Pilipinas, no? So, and then my husband would always say in our videos na parang, yung kagaya, quoting Jose Rizal, di ba? Saying, wag maging dayuhan sa sariling bayan, di ba?
Yes.
Di ba? Although sometimes, may areas din talaga na wala pang infrastructure. So you've been to Bulalakaw, Mindoro, right? That's our connection to the Panay Islands, no? Katiklan, and that will be our gateway also to go to Palawan soon. Sana this year. Yeah. And then si mayor of Bulalakaw, pag nandun ako, will tell me na parang, oh sige, dito ka pupunta, ganyan, yung mga falls na walking distance lang, medyo magdadrive ka ng konti, pero may lakad. And I would tell the mayor lang, na mayor, sana lang, lagyan lang natin ng infrastructure, like maybe steps, para safe. Solar lights, ganyan, para mas ma-appreciate mo. We just add a little safety features, path, ganyan, guide, because yun na rin yung pwedeng maging trabaho ng mga locals, di ba? Maging tour guide sila. Trabaho na yan, di ba? And then one time, we were invited, si Ma'am Gina pa rin, Ma'am Gina Lopez, invited FastCat to be a sponsor in one event in Tingloy, Batangas. And I was seated with yung local government. And then may inimbita si Ma'am Gina Lopez na speaker from California, CAS yata, California Academy of Sciences. And si Professor Carpenter, yan, natatanda ka, Barry Carpenter yata. So, he spoke about Verde Island Passage. So that's yung ilalim ng Batangas, yung sa ilalim, yung dinadaanan niya ng FastCat, Batangas to Calapan, yung ilalim niyan is called Verde Island Passage. And that is located in the heart of hearts of the Marine Coral Triangle. So Marine Coral Triangle na doon sa ilalim. And so the professor, the scientist, was talking about how important this Marine Coral Triangle is and how important Verde Island Passage is. No, so scientists would always come to the Philippines to explore, to dive and explore Verde Island Passage because they learn a lot, with what they see under. Actually, isang lecture to. I-share ko ba sa inyo isang lecture?
Go ahead.
isang lecture po. Talaga para akong bata na nakikinig dun sa professor. So it's like the Marine Coral Triangle na na-amaze sila na pag nag-dive sila, andyan lang right across, parang may invisible water wall na yung growth dito sa site na to, unique yung nandun na sa kabila. So parang, as scientist, talagang parang, wow, paano nangyayari yun? Bakit nga ba? It's our location in the tectonics. Nung nag-shake ang tectonic plates, nagkahiwa-hiwalay. So, iba yung longitude, latitude. So, nagkakaroon ng ibang water temperature sa kabila. Pero ayan lang, parang next door lang. Pero dahil sa separation sa longitude, latitude, iba na kagad yung traits nitong kabilang side. So, yan yung mga tinitingnan nila. So, and then, ka-table ko, yung mga LGU. And then, nakikinig kami sa so nakikinig ba tayo? So kung ako sa inyo, magti-train ako ng mga even maritime high schoolers na sila yung tour guide dito sa ilalim sa Verde Island Passage na pag diver ka, pupunta ka doon, alam mo na yung explorein mo. Kasi alam mo yan yan na. It doesn't have to be far, di ba? Parang malapit lang sa isang coastal community. So I was like saying, dapat siguro may lesson on scuba diving, maybe attest the course on scuba diving, and then train the people, and then have them be the tour guides. So meron ka na kagad hanap buhay in that area. And then I was like, Professor Carpenter, na parang, Professor, you have to tell the LGU, anong dapat nilang gawin kung sila yan, at alam nilang napakahalaga ng Verde Island Passage. So sabi niya, then aalagaan nila yan. And then ang kabuhayan dyan ay turismo, di ba? Tourism, immersion, scuba diving, snorkeling, and then a whole lot of opportunities because they were telling me may mga French na may na-discover dito sa ilalim ng karagatan natin pero ang patent hawak ng French because we don't know the value of what we have. So imagine that, di ba? Imagine that. So there's a lot to explore in our country and there's more, a whole lot of things that can give us revenue as a people na hindi na lang OFW, di ba? I mean, saludo tayo sa mga overseas Filipino workers, but we got to think about what we have in our country and the opportunities that we have in our country. And I think, Kirk and Brian, you're doing a whole lot in contributing to that by really exploring and going off the beaten track kung saan maraming Pilipino na takot mag-explore, isa na ako dyan, na takot na magbanyo at mag-number 2 dun sa mga hukay-hukay. Kayo yung mga explorers na ino-open up ito para sa amin at at hearing you and your experience, lumalakas yung loob namin na, ay, kung kaya pala ni Kirk at ni Brian, kaya rin namin, di ba? Well, ako, pasalamat na lang ako na malakas ang loob yung asawa ko. Yung itong pagkukonekta ng Pilipinas, of course, I attribute it to him. It was his vision and a courage to do this. Pasalamat na lang ako na sumusunod na lang ako sa kanya and then I get to be part of the adventure, and I always say, like you, na because of Fastcat, dumami din ang kaibigan ko sa buong Pilipinas, no? Like if I'm in the ship, working, doing my inspections, visits and rounds, may mga pasahero na talagang may mga t-shirt pa sila ng mga ruta ng Fastcat, at sinasabi niya, saan susunod na bubuksan ng Fastcat? Susundan lang namin, sasakay kami. And you know what? Sometimes sila nag-i-insist talaga na you have to have dinner with us. Ito yung sa Bacolod, like a group of mga balikbayan, yung retired na sa Amerika, you know how they are, they come to the Philippines pag winter, and then they have adventures while here. And then yun nga, sinusundan nila yung Fastcat. And then sabi nila sa akin, saan? You have to have dinner with us. Tapos tingin na kami ng anak ko, yung type of flight naman namin, parang 9 p.m. pa in Bacolod, back to Manila. So we did Iloilo, Bacolod. And then sabi, tingin na kami ng anak ko, sige, pwede. And then we had dinner in Ted's Manukan in no, it's Aida. Favorite ng anak ko.
Aida.
Aida. Yun ang favorite ng anak ko. Parang hindi pwedeng hindi ka pupunta doon. And then yung anak ko, alam niya na yung chocolate cake. Nako, my God, niyayakap niya yun. Kala mo talagang precious gold yung chocolate cake. Anyway, these people talaga insisted na ililibre nila kami dun sa Manukan. So kahit na ang hirap magbarko, napakahirap ng hanap buhay na pagbabarko because we're moving and all our inputs are imported, di ba? Whether it's fuel or bakal or pintura or pyesa, it's so difficult. But, when I meet people, Filipinos who in the islands, and then they become my friends, naiimbita na ako sa mga fiesta nila, mga party, that gives me so much joy. And, parang iniisip ko, hindi lahat pera, hindi lahat profit, no? Hindi lahat sa buhay ay tubo, di ba? But, this is making an impact. It's, elevating the lives of others where we get the most gratification. So, and I'm glad. Dahil sa Fastcat, nakilala ko kayong dalawa. Nakilala ko si Kirk at si Brian.
It's our pleasure po.
And learning about your adventure experience is, making me part of that adventure is a thrill in itself. Yan. Okay, so ngayon dadating na tayo sa time na magtatanong na tayo sa mga nakikinig sa atin because nasisita kami pag di namin tinatanong yung mga question nila. So, Mika, i-flash mo na ang mga questions. And then maybe habang inaantay natin ang questions ni Mika, ayan, Edwin says, mabuhay. Hi, Edwin, mabuhay. Alam niyo na ba yung Filipino Brand of Service Excellence, Lost Boys? Because Fastcat partnered with DOT and we're actually sharing that. So it's making this sign, mabuhay. Mabuhay. Yeah. So when we see mabuhay. Yeah, okay. We saw Carmela Villar of Manila Times Fast Maritime. Thank you, Carmela, for tuning in. Gabby Pellerin, good morning po, Anytime Maritime. Oh, hi, Gabby. Ang sweet ng picture niyo. Thank you. Naol Lost Boys from Russell Baha. Yay! Oo nga, Naol talaga. Magkakaroon na ng community of overlanders, Lost Boys, thanks to you. Okay, Sinaida Magnal of Harbor Scope. Yan, mga talagang ito, mga pillars ng maritime industry. Hello. Thank you for watching. JP Mission, good morning. Thank you for watching. Costi Bernardo. Mukhang Coast Guard siya. Eve Reyes, good morning po, boss. Hi, Eve. Okay. Michael Villaluna, good morning, Anytime Maritime. Wow. Habit forming daw to. So I'm glad na may mga habit ang Anytime Maritime. Marville Espago, nako, isa pa yan, passionate yan sa maritime world. Hello. Pot Bernardo with a baby heart. Yay. Hi, thank you. Merlin Eludo, good morning all. Watching from Liloan Port. Yay. Hi, Merlin. Yan, mabuti naman. Okay, Nyoki Bernard watching from BHM Binyan, Laguna. Wow, all over tayo. Kung nandito JP Michelle said hashtag toilet story.
Toilet story.
Yung ba tumatak sa inyo ngayong umaga, toilet story. Dahil sa toilet story, may nabubuong hanap buhay. Si Kirk talagang pala, bumili na sila ng pala. Talagang, but you know what? Tuloy mo naman yung story dun sa gadget na sinabi nyo na tinuro sa inyo. Yeah. Good morning to all. Ephraim de la Serna, especially to Ma'am Marian. You know, Ephraim is motorcyclist naman sila. May grupo silang umiikot. Aside, of course, from his passion in Seaversity and anything techie. Yan, umikot siya sa Pilipinas. Ephraim. Kasama ko nag-present yan sa London on maritime learning. Yay! Ephraim. Oy, Ephraim, inaantay ko pa yung reels mo, ha? Sige, turo nyo naman sa amin yung nagko-convert ng water, water to drinkable water. What gadget is that? That was, yes, go ahead.
Actually, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, ma'am, sorry, baka lang na-confuse. It's when you do number 1, when you urinate, parang hindi siya messy. You put like a tablet or a medicine daw, tapos it will turn your urine to gel.
To a gel. No, I think I heard Kurt say yung tinuro ng Mototesto that you can
okay.
Yeah. What's that?
Yung water tank ata. Water tank?
Water tank ba yun?
Alin to? Yung...
Sabi mo, tinuro yung Mototesto na gadget na ikakabit mo, tapos pwedeng maging fresh water yung pangligo mo.
Okay.
Sa toilet. Yeah.
Yes, actually meron parang water source. It's a tank. It's a tank na pwede mong ipalagay sa sasakyan mo. And then before you go over landing, refill mo lang siya ng water. So though may tank kasi na for yung panligo, and then there's also tank na pwede mong inumin. Na you just have to check na yung drinkable, yung plastic is pwede for drinking. So pero what we have sa car namin is yung panligo. So every time na aalis kami, pupunuin namin yun ng tubig para may panligo kami na fresh water. So meron kami ilang liters ba yun? Medyo malaki. So para hindi kami naubo. Yun na yung panghugas namin ng mga gamit, and then panligo at the same time. But talking about drinking water, there's also tank na pwedeng ilagay mo sa rig mo na for drinking water. And as far as I know, there's this medicine, I think for mga hikers and yung ginagamit nila, na that can turn yung hindi ganun kalinis na tubig, lalagyan mo lang ng medicine, leave it for a while, and then it will turn out na magiging pwede nang drinkable na. I just don't know the name of that medicine, pero merong ganun.
Nice. They're making doing an adventure safer by having that. Kasi may water. So, in your trips, bago natin i-flash ulit yung question, nalimutan kong tanong ito. In your trips, did you ever experience getting sick? Like getting bitten by mosquitoes or food poisoning? Kasi di ba yan yung mga ayaw mong magkarong sakit pag nagbabiyahe ka? Will just derail all your plans and your schedule?
Correct. That will be part of your planning and research. Kasi before you go to a place, research will really help you kung ano yung dadalhin mo, ano yung expect mo na experience dun sa area. Pero yes, we get bitten by mosquitoes most of the time. And ang ayaw lang namin na sana mangyari, wag kami makagat ng ahas. Pero what we do, if we camp, sinasurvey namin yung area. Check namin yan. So if it's medyo matalahib, ganyan, so maybe we clean it or ganyan yung basta we make it safer para confident kami na pag natulog kami, we're safe. So, yun, and we magdadala lang kami ng mga yung what do you call this, yung off lotion or whatever na pang prevent ng mosquito bites, and yung tinatawag nilang nick-nick sa dagat, kasi we love to camp sa mga beach pero again, that's one problem na i-consider mo kasi medyo marami yan sa dagat na ganun. So may mga areas na ganun. So be ready naman din. At least bring first aid kit. It's a must.
Correct. It's a must.
Alam mo, na-discover namin yung katingko doon sa Palawan, sa San Vicente. Kasi di ba parang ano yan, virgin, unspoiled beach. And then we got that Nick Bites. And then yun, tinanong namin yung resort doon. Sabi, bili po kayo ng katingko. And then since then, naging friend na namin yung katingko na yan ang nilalagay namin pagka may mga bites. So meron ako sa bag ko lagi niyan. That helps me with solving all those issues. So again, you're saying planning, preparation, and hospital. Siguro part ng dapat alamin nila kung saan sila pupunta. Alam mo saan yung hospital na malapit.
Agree.
In case
siguro, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Kirk kanina, planning. I can say I can be thankful na siguro over the years wala kaming major na nagkasakit kami ni Kirk during a trip. Pero siguro what we can siguro tip namin, siguro weeks before your trip, mag-double dose ka na ng vitamins. And si Kirk malagi yan may vitamins din. And siguro increase yung fluid intake nyo. Very important kasi na aside sa kinokondisyon nyo yung sasakyan, kondisyon nyo rin yung yung sarili nyo. Kasi napakahirap mag-travel din siguro ng may sakit. Sayang yung
Yes, exactly.
Part ng preparation.
Correct.
Yung sarili natin.
Correct, agree. And as much as possible that we want to try all the parang food, let's say in that province. Kasi every time. Pero again, you have to know within yourself ano yung mga let's say kung may allergy ka ba dan. Just don't be shy to ask. Ano bang kung medyo hesitant ka? Ano bang mga ingredients niyan? Kasi baka ma-allergy ka or ganun eh. It's not bad. You just ask nicely, ganun.
Yeah. Dapat din alam mo yung bawal sa iyo, 'di ba? Para magko-control ka din, 'di ba? Listening to you also, I can't help but ask about sustainability and the marine environment and the environment, no? Kasi isa sa frustration ko, yung pag maglalayag tayo, tapos ang daming plastic, di ba? Yung mga sachet, mga bote. So you as travelers going to the area, kasi at least kung number 2, at iniwan mo doon, organic naman yun di ba? Yes. Babalik naman ang nutrients yan. But how do you stop yourselves from leaving kalat or garbage when you do your exploring? Because I think it's something that we must really address in our country. Yeah, what do you do, Kirk and Brian?
We always practice yung leave no trace. Everywhere, any place that we visit, we always make it a point na wala kaming iiwan na dumi or kalat dyan sa area. And actually, to a point na minsan, kahit di namin kalat, pinupulot na namin. Yeah. Kasi, again, tayo lang din magbe-benefit nun So, hindi porket kalat mo lang, yan lang pupulutin mo. So, again, umabot kami sa point na ganun. Actually, I'm gonna share a story. Nag-camp kami sa isang beach area sa Dapitan. Yeah, Dapitan in Mindanao. Pagdating namin sa beach area, maraming plastic, maraming kalat, basura, ganon. So, medyo nakaka-disappoint. What we did with Brian and yung family ng fiancé na, nag-clean up kami dun. Nilinis namin yung area. Tapos, ayun, para nilinis namin so that pag-camp namin, maayos na yung area. When we leave, we clean it again para, ready for the next one. And sana ganun tayong lahat. Kasi, again, let's help our mother nature kasi tayo yung magbe-benefit Hindi lang, let's not be selfish. Tayo magbe-benefit yan. Not just in yung tayo-tayo, pero the tourism, the local people, everyone. So, yun yung style namin. We make it a point, lagi kami may dalang trash bag. So, pinapasok, inuwi, dinadala namin kung saan namin pwede i-dispose.
Yeah, leave no trace. I like that. You know what? When we went to Maldives, bago pumasok sa resort, ino-orient na kami ng ganyan. Ganyan. Yung dapat dala mo yung basura mo, bibigyan ka ng bag. Even batteries. Like they say, batteries, you bring it home. Bring it home. Don't leave it. You're not allowed to throw that. And then in the island, it's walang nakapaa. Yung ganyan. Talagang they want you to be as close to nature as possible. So sasabihin nila, magpapaa ka. And then pati watch. pati watch, pinapatago sa amin. So, the whole trip, wala kang relo because they wanted to really get the sense of living in the island. So, ganap na ganap ang experience and they ask you to do that.
Nice.
Grabe, no? So, sana gumanon tayo. Sana maging ganun tayo ka-mature in handling and beyond just the cleanup and coastal cleanup, we educate our people na tama na tayo sa pagkakalat, di ba? Yeah, you were gonna say something.
Ma-educate sila and ma-remind lang every now and then kasi eventually matututo lang din yan sila eh. Just keep on reminding them, let's say for us through our platform, lagi lang din sinasabi namin sa vlog namin na leave no trace, ganyan. Kasi that's the only thing that we can do eh. Diba? Yeah. Pero adding to that resort that you were mentioning in Maldives, there's also, meron na din tayong mga resorts dito, mga high-end resorts in the Philippines. Actually, that was in Palawan na parang they will give you yung mga bags na native pag nasa resort ka para you can crash there, ganyan. And then yung mga hotel rooms, yung mga villas nila in that island, walang TV so that you can explore. You really have to go outside and explore the island, mga ganun. And lahat ng stuff nila nasa room mo are environmental friendly. So, I mean, I'm happy na nakakita ako ng ganun.
Exactly. Yeah. Yung ating eco-consciousness elevated when we have resorts like that. Hindi yung parang wapak hells, di ba? Whatever. Tapon lang na tapon. Oh my God, that's so frustrating. Okay, tatanungin na natin. Guys, we have 14 minutes left. I don't want to take so much of your time anymore, but we want to read the questions kasi nga nasisita na kami na hindi namin tinatanong yung mga tanong. Okay, Marville Colin Espago, top 5 things a person needs to bring before traveling. O yan! 5 things they need to bring before traveling.
Number 1,
Yes.
Bring yung set na medicine, yung mga usual medicines na kailangan natin.
First aid
kit.
Okay.
Tapos, number 2 siguro, actually, part 2 nung bring yung reusable water bottle. Bring your own water bottle. Para yung use of plastic, minimize natin. Yes.
3, money.
Okay, yes. Money.
No, I mean, my point about this is parang hindi lahat may GCash or online access. So, at least be ready to have some cash. Ganun.
That's true. Yung mga foreigners na frustrate kasi di ba sa ibang bansa cashless na sila. Tapos dito sa atin konti pa. That's why in Fastcat we're promoting digitalization nga, digital payments eh. Yeah, okay, top 3 pa lang po 'yun. Maghahanap si Marville ng top 4 and 5.
Siguro bring your power bank, yung power supply.
Okay. Bring cameras, make lots of just record all the memories that you can kasi again that's the only album that you can do sa life mo. Balikan mo lang if you feel sad or if you miss the place. Balikan mo yung mga videos mo. Pero again, may mga places kasi na hindi mabigyan justice ng video eh. You have to see it yung personal.
That's true. Okay, nasagot natin yung top 5. Next question, please. Meron ba? Nagkaka-technical problem yata siya. But yeah, that's so good. Sinabi mo yung top 5. Very practical. Emmy saying hi, Lost Boys.
Hi, Emmy.
Hello. Sinare nyo ba sa page nyo ito? Are we sharing the page?
Naka-share po.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Danelle Dave De Villa, good morning po from M8. Yay! M8! Okay. Antonio Lizana, you must go on adventure to find out where you truly belong. Oh, I love your quotable quotes. You must go on adventure to find out where you belong. Alan Santiago, good morning, boss.
Good morning.
Nakabike siya, adventurer din siya. Ward, hello, maman from FCM12. Ayan ang mga sinakyan yung Fastcat nanonood sa atin. We're making this a habit.
Mabait ng mga staff dyan sa
thank you.
Mga vessels.
Yes, Fastcat, ito po yung mga suki nating Lost Boys. Emmy Argamet, try si Paway Island in San Carlos City. Just 10 minutes boat ride from the port. Sakay na sa Fastcat. Yay!
Noted.
Di pa, nakapunta, try nyo nga tapos i-ano nyo naman, i-vlog nyo yung si Paway Island na yan. Parang nakarating na rin ang nakararaming Pilipino. Harborscope saying, I'm watching. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we come to the part where we are closing. So before that, allow me to thank both of you so much for your time and sharing us your story and your adventure. Parang, I think, kiniliti nyo sa amin ang aming explore and adventure side na ma-inspire kaming gawin din yung adventure. So, can you give your closing and parting words to our Anytime Maritimers in our intelligent conversation here? So, yeah, go ahead please, Kirk and Brian.
Go, bro.
Actually, ma'am, magre-request sana kami extend ko pwede extend dahil ang sarap ng kwentuhan natin kasi actually nagiging tool namin to share yung mga gusto namin, mga advocacy namin, yung mga goals namin when traveling. Tapos very thankful din po kami sa inyo, Mrs. Pastrana, kasi you were sharing your stories as well. So, we're thankful for that. It's a 2-hour long talk, pero sana kung pwede lang mag-extend, why not? And to those who listen, thank you. And ayun, let's keep on exploring Philippines. Sabi nga nila, Pinas muna. Ayan. Thank you so much guys for listening.
Yes. And yes, for me, thank you, Mrs. Pastrana, for inviting us. Kasi again, this is a one tool for us, you and us, to parang express yung mga advocacy natin. Kasi naririnig ko kanina yung vision nyo with your company, with Fastcat. Ganun, sobrang, if you just do good, magko-continue lang yan. So, thank you. And guys, yun lang, lagi namin sinasabi, sobrang ganda ng Pilipinas. Don't be afraid to go out of your comfort zone. Explore the country. Enjoy it. Alam mo yung ganun. And then, syempre, like and follow us para ma-share namin din yung experience namin. In our way, makatulong kami sa inyo. So, di ba, makabigay kami ng idea or whatever lesson para maging easier yung travels nyo if you haven't been outside. Kaya, di ba? Thank you.
Sabi nga po sa shirt namin, ayan,
yes.
Keep living.
Keep living.
Yes! Keep living. Talagang dito, ramdam mo na buhay ka, di ba? When you go out, when you have adventure, yes. You break the routine, even if you go out of your comfort zone. So, Lost Boys, hindi po ito ang pagtatapos ng ating conversation because this will continue to be our conversation. May pahabol si Carmela Villar. Now, I wanna explore. Thanks to you, Lost Boys, ha? Have you tried Antique, Nogas Island, and Aninggalan? Ayan. It's like a personal invitation sa Antique. Dahil tiga doon si Carmela. O, ayan, pasyalan nyo naman daw yung kanilang
Nogas natin Island. Yan.
Oo nga, visit nyo, ha? You know what? We started a contest here. Can we show you quickly before we go? Can you share the poster? We want to do we launch a jingle writing contest for Anytime Maritime, and we are inviting the young people to join us and send in the jingle so that it's more fun, no? To get the conversation up on Anytime Maritime. Here it is, Anytime Maritime Jingle Contest, open to individuals 18 years old and above. Participants must have like and follow all the social media accounts of Anytime Maritime. Sama nyo na po ang Lost Boys PH. And then, may premyo po. Gusto lang natin na sumaya ang ating programa at marinig po kayo. Open to everyone. At i-extend po yata natin tong date na to. And then, may prizes po. 5,000 for the first place. Second place, 3,000. And third place, 1,000. So,
wow.
Guys, Lost Boys, share nyo rin naman sa page nyo para masaya tayo. And we can hear this and just elevate the maritime experience. So, this
actually,
is it.
Ma'am, sasali na kami. Sasali kami sa contest. 5,000 guys, so wag niyo papalagpasin yan. 5,000.
Yeah, exactly. And we're about to meet with the head of the Philippine Association of Maritime Institutions, so association of like 90 or 80 schools, maritime schools in the Philippines. And sila po yung anchor na audience natin na nakikinig dito sa atin because we want the young to be in the know, di ba? We want the young to have intelligent conversations and we want to really inspire them. And that's what this advocacy is all about. So Kirk and Brian, hindi pa po nagtatapos dahil marami pa tayo at bubuksan po ng FastCat ang Zamboanga Basilan route ngayong March. Yay! Ayan, dahil pinalakas ni Kirk ang ating loob na ang Mindanao, kung meron tayong mga preconceived notion na nakakatakot doon and all, ibahin natin yan when we actually experience it for ourselves. So it's not enough na nakikita lang natin sa magazine, napapanood lang natin, iba pa rin. Pag doon tayo, we immerse and we experience. And we're happy to say that na FastCat is doing that. So sana Lost Boys, bigyan nyo rin ng time na mabiyahin nyo yung ating Zamboanga Basilan na yan. At,
Definitely.
Definitely,
yes.
ma'am.
At i-share nyo rin ang number ng mga taong makikilala nyo doon.
Yes.
At kung
Yes.
anong masasabi nyo, ha? Alam nyo ba, sa Cebu, ang inuwi ko, yun na nga, Cebu, palad, pusit, danggit.
Danggit.
Yes, sarap, di ba? And then, pauwi naman, as from Palawan naman, Baker's Hill Hopia, cashew, Jopay's cashew tart. At nako, hanggang ngayon, ini-enjoy pa na hindi nakakatulong sa aking waistline. But it's okay. Masaya pa rin. So guys, maraming salamat. Until next time, thank you very much for joining us in Anytime Maritime. Everybody listening, please continue to share, like, subscribe, and share not only Anytime Maritime, but the Lost Boys PH. And follow us and continue to explore and adventure the Philippine Islands. Maraming salamat, boys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day, everyone.
Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
Good day, everyone. Thank you, team. Bye.